Yuffie Cloud.
Boom, boom, boom. All right, it is the new year. Um, Currently editing all the videos that have not gotten to editing. Putting out the project, and I'm pretty happy with everything. Like I said, I'm looking forward to what's going to happen next. I think I'm gonna ride out, these first couple months, just have kind of like this chapter in my life come to a close, and I really just need to start focusing and kind of find a path, find the thing that's gonna, be fulfilling me and, be testing me and pushing me in the direction that I need to go at this moment. I think with like everything that I've looked back on, I'm like really like proud of myself and, you know, really seeing a different side of myself, because now like looking at myself as the from like an outside perspective, almost as much as you can from, living inside, you know my own body, um and my own like feeling the subjective experience of myself. Like it's really like a different experience with me, like everything that I'm doing here. And now I think at this point I really just want to like have fun and, you know not, you know, be so in my head about things, be so controlling of myself, and kind of being chained down to any singular ideas. Like, yes, I want to have a focused path, but, like have fun with the path that I'm going down, and not be so judgmental of myself. I think that's something I've seen as a problem, but it's yet to be something that I fully embody yet. But yeah, definitely, I really just want to have fun, um, and kind of, yeah, just make the most of the time that I'm in right now, and just, you know keep my foot on the gas, and yeah, just let things fly. Kind of play into imperfections, kind of come up with like an impressionistic kind of viewpoint, like a Monet viewpoint, if you know what I mean. Like, let the idea spill out of me and not, judge, um, if it's coming out too fast, or if it's, you know, it's considered uh, non traditional, or not the way I should be doing things, or not the, conventional way. I think that's what I got to keep track of. I think a bit of advice is like, be able to play on offense, with life, and, not be adhering to other people's things. Like, come in with like a certain level of drive in everything that I do, and like not be rigid, but have a plan, and be able to, have a level of execution, and think kind of like come at life like almost like you're like a filmmaker. Like, there's these scenes that I want to shoot with my life. There's these moments that I want to have, or like these things that I want to do that I need to make happen, and I need to do A, B, or C to make that happen. So I think because, I'm a younger person, that like I get caught up in also, the social media aspect of life, like things are instant gratification. But like, if I'm thinking like a filmmaker, it's like these these films can take like 6 years, 9 years, a decade, 12 years to develop or plan. And like, actors will be, working on like certain skills, like, I don't know, like working on piano, or like working on like their physique for a role, or learning just like a new skill, like an actor's like playing like a sports star or something like that, or, has to learn guitar, or know the intricacies of being like a military operative or something like that. you know like, skill sets that take a long time to learn. What was it like? Kate Winslet had to like learn how to breathe underwater for like 6 minutes or something. So it's kind of like, come at that the same way. Like the skills that I want to learn, um, they are gonna take a while, and like just the things that I want to do are gonna take a while. But yeah, like I said, like come at things with a plan and be able to, you know, see things farther ahead in the future than just like, the next couple of months or the next year. These things like take time. But I want to like, start doing those things now and make that a consistent battle, or not even a battle, a consistent, process. Keeping an open mind, being malleable, being, you know, morphing into whatever role or, type of, ideology I need to kind of embrace to come at a situation. I think that's, what's important for right now. But, I think inevitably there'll be times when like I'll regress or I'll be in a low spot or not have the confidence, I guess, or the self esteem. Um, then it will kind of like be, I'll kind of just have to remind myself. And I think, with all these, videos, I think like for me on a personal level, like when I get to look back at these videos, like it kind of like excites me, I guess. As far as like what I was saying before is like, it's kind of like scary to like go back and confront your old journals or whatever. But also like when I'm actually watching them or like looking over them, and it's kind of like, oh wow, look how much I've grown, or like, wow, look at the mindset that I was in. That's kind of like telling me like, oh, things get better. Da, da, da. So like I need to take that with me and like get the get the juice I need from that, for lack of a better word, and kind of let that be, the battery in my back or the, gas in my car. As far as like what I'm gonna do next, I think I just have to look forward to whatever scares me, whatever, makes me uncomfortable, and that's kind of like what my mom has been trying to instill in me since I was a young kid, that like whatever makes you uncomfortable, like head towards that, because that's like where you will grow. Like you are not gonna being in your comfort zone is only gonna make you stale, gonna make you grow weak, You're just gonna hit a plateau. Like if I want to do anything, I want to head towards like the thing that terrifies me the most and like kind of makes me walk on needles. Yeah, and I think I want to put that like on on tape here and kind of, you know, really just say like if I want to get where I want to get, then I need to be the person that heads towards like that, perceived danger, or like enjoying that thrill. Because even with like these things that I've just done, like I've never done that before. With everything that I've been doing in the past couple months, like these are the things that I'd never done before, like putting myself out there and stuff like that. So like coming with that on like the as far as I want to go on a, on a career level, on a spiritual level, on a social level. I want to be able to push those things and, you know, uh, test the waters that I've been like scared to like, I guess, dip my toe in before. Like I want to feel like, the burn of the cold water now, like, or I want to feel like the heat and like let it just like soak into my pores. I think, just, willing to embrace that and like having some fun with that. And it's more fun when I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know how's it gonna go, and I just end up with something. And I think, I think for me, it's like just coming in with the idea that, you know, just shoot for the stars and then you'll land on the moon. It's always better than getting nowhere. I feel like, putting myself in those situations, like I always kind of like figure it out, or it always like works out in some way. Like it's never like bad or like the end of the world. I think, I just gotta be okay in the free fall state. Let my heart beat fast, take risks. And, I don't even have to be confident in it. Just do it. Just trust that I'll figure it out somehow. I think also like going with like this whole idea of like, going into stuff that scares me, like going to like the weird stuff, going to the offbeat, whatever kind of things that are going on in my head, go completely left, like let, my personality take it where it needs to be taken as far as creatively, and kind of, live for myself a bit, live a bit more selfishly, have fun, and find things that are exciting. Just doing things with, you know, that seem to have no immediate ROI or, gratification. Just doing it because I feel it's something that I want to do, or that I feel I need to do, or I believe in, just because that's my gut feeling. And I'm seeing something that I feel like no one else is seeing, and it's fulfilling me, if nothing else. Yeah, so like where I'm going with this, or where I'm going with anything that I'm doing in the future, I think just having kind of, that belief, living selfishly, living according to my whims and, my plans and my ideas. I feel like going for the sure thing has never interested me from an outsider perspective. So why would I, live that way as a person? I think I should follow that kind of guiding rule, because I'm always more interested in like the the niche thing, however pretentious or trite that sounds. I think definitely just like going towards the path that interests me. I don't want to live under any label that the status quo is putting me under, um, or even myself is putting me under. And I think holding that close to my heart, protecting that is going to be important. If I can see it, it's just about convincing everyone else that it's there. But yeah, for right now, if I feel like I really want to like have a sense of a close, and I think, New Year, I think this is a good time to like stop and reflect and, reposition myself for where I want to be next. But I'll continue to share and continue to, you know, push myself, and I will definitely be reconvening at some point, whether it's here or, wherever. I think it's always going to be within me to um, create and try to connect. But this isn't the end. This is like only the beginning. This is just the close on one singular chapter in my life. And I'm just looking towards the next one and making sure I'm coming at it the best way I can. So I will be reconvening, and you will be seeing me soon.